up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Unfiltered Love Podcast.
Gosh.
It's not lame, it's cool.
It's not lame? I listened to it today, and I was like, wow, I would not listen to that. But because it's us, I guess maybe I would.
But we're super cute.
It is really cute. It's like really cute that we both say that at the same time with the same inflection of it being really like cute and stupid sounding.
I hope people listening think that it's cute and not just super annoying.
Yeah, I really hope so too.
I apologize. I apologize if it's annoying, but I think it's cute. And today we are going to get into some spicy.
Oh, so caliente.
Some very interesting topics.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's going to make you slightly uncomfortable. That's my prediction.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm all about this. I regularly talk about very sexual things
Well,
on
I
my
like
channel.
to keep it safe. I'm actually already wearing a condom. Yeah.
For once.
That's true.
Sorry. Anyway, that's fine. That's on brand for this episode. We are going to be answering actually 2 questions from our friends over on Patreon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. Shall we do that first? No, we got to say we can read a review. Let's read a review.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yes, we have some awesome Patreon questions today. They are going to be about some caliente topics. Caliente.
Get it right.
Sorry about that. And right now I'm gonna read a review. So if you didn't know, you can leave a review of the podcast, and you can subscribe to the podcast.
Subscribe and review.
You should totally do that. So I'm actually going to be reading one of the reviews right now, and if you go and review, there's a chance that we could read your review next week on air.
Wow, how cool.
That's so cool.
It could be you.
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 Or even you.
Or even you.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, the subject line
Obnoxious.
is obsessed with an exclamation mark. Ooh.
ASMR wine pouring.
Okay, and the name of the user is Nearly Headless.
Oh.
And it is, I had heard Jaclyn mention the podcast on her channel before they started it, and somehow managed to forget to check it out. Remembered last night and have binged every episode since.
Aww.
Love the dynamic and honest discussion. 5 stars.
Well, I'm glad that you're not completely headless.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for the nice...
No, that's...
Yeah, binge watching things. I mean, we've been binge watching Breaking Bad for however long now, but like, we're in it pretty deep right now.
Yeah, we have like almost only 1 season left. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like really emotionally invested into it. I don't watch shows. Okay, for example, do you see these wine glasses that she's using right now? They're cute, right?
Okay, some people are just listening.
Well, if you're just listening, you know that you can also watch the video version. But anyways, she is in the process of moving, which is really exciting. And these are some of her wine glasses. They are little skulls.
Yeah, they're little skull wine glasses. You can like drink the red wine out of their head, and it's like you're drinking their blood. It's great.
Right. So back to like the type of like shows that I would maybe watch. She's more of a Dexter, and I'm more of like, well, Rob Schneider actually happens to have a Netflix special about his life, and I'm the only person that watches that. I'm more into...
One viewer. David
like,
Michael Frank.
I'm sorry, Rob. We have to cancel your show. Only one person watched it. Yeah. So I like comedies, usually stupid comedies.
I like stupid comedies too.
You do?
Our first night of intimacy. I mean, we're talking about intimacy, so let's get into it.
Oh, gosh.
The first night we did it, we watched Year One.
Which is a like Jack Black dressed up as like a caveman movie.
Yeah,
There's something about that was a turn on.
Yeah, we had to end up watching it another night because we were distracted by other activities.
I don't know about you. I wasn't distracted. I watched the entire movie.
Oh, no, we didn't. We had to rewatch it another night.
Yeah,
we cut it off literally after 10 minutes.
That's what I said, but I watched them home. I was paying attention because that's Jack Black.
We went into my bedroom, my love.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you want to go into my bedroom? And you're like, yeah.
I was like, wait, with this movie, like the character arc right now.
Oh, yeah, it was so difficult to convince you.
Well, Jack Black is a caveman? That's all you could ever...
Anyway, back on topic.
I guess the topic we were discussing was the fact that her wine glasses are like a Baroquean Gothic church of evil. Satan? Yeah. And I'm like, Adam Sandler
We're the perfect
We are.
couple.
I do balance you out, and you balance me out.
Aww.
You make me more
Creepy.
evil.
Oh, just a little evil.
Just a little evil.
Evil.
Oh my gosh. What
I
are
think
we
it's
doing
a good
today?
influence. Well, what are we not doing today? This is,
Hey.
like I said, we have some very personal, I guess you could say, questions
They are.
from friends over on Patreon. Now, this particular episode, I grouped 2 different questions together because both of them were very intimate in nature. Sexual questions, very personal questions, a lot of detail in these questions, and they both requested to remain anonymous.
That's nice.
So we will not be showing the question. We will not be reading their names or anything like that. And it's like I said, I appreciate people over on Patreon sending us these questions and being so willing to open their life to us and be vulnerable with their questions, and really, like, they hold nothing back, especially these questions.
Yeah, they're a little nasty.
I mean, but that's part of life,
That's true.
right? I mean,
Where you're like friend that you're able to ask sort of freaky questions to that just happens to have an internet podcast with thousands of people listening. But you can just ask to be anonymous, or you can submit a video question. You can also submit freaky video questions if you'd like.
where can they do that?
Patreon.com/Jaclyn and David.
Wow, that sounds cute.
I think right on the homepage of that is the link to be able to submit video questions.
Nice.
We don't get enough of those. People asking to be all anonymous, and rightfully so. These questions are
Right.
adult.
Well, I appreciate that we got these types of questions because, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people don't feel comfortable asking friends or family. They have no one to ask about these things, and they feel very alone. And sex, even now, is a very taboo topic, and people feel uncomfortable. And there's a lot of guilt and self-judgment and judgment from other people.
Even your partner.
Yeah, it can. And, I grew up in a religious setting, and there's a lot of shame that people have kind of been taught to have around this topic.
Well, I grew up in a religious setting, and there was no shame. We got down in the coat room.
Oh, are we going to talk about Jewish summer camp again?
I got stories all day long.
You do. I mean, we'll get into some of those. I'm never, ever going to tell you to not tell a Jewish summer camp story. We're actually getting requests for them now. People are like, ooh, when's David going to talk about summer camp again?
Yeah, no, I really can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
He doesn't stop. It's true.
Well, it's very relatable. Plus, like, now that we're talking about, like, intimate things, and that was very important in my young adult sexual development.
See, I wish I had that. I was taught to shame, like, yourself for doing anything remotely sexual. That's kind of the Catholic way, and a lot of other denominations of Christianity are probably the same. But that's part of the reason why I want to be so outspoken about these types of things, to talk about it, to, like, take away some of that taboo and make people feel a little bit better about being human.
Yeah, that's nice.
So
we were on not opposite ends of the spectrum, but
yeah,
you had shame and we were having...
Like, it's almost celebrated. Like,
well, not from necessarily the adults, but amongst kids, we were all having, like...
No, even adults. Isn't it a thing? Like, on, like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're supposed to...
yeah.
You're
Shabbat?
supposed to...
You're supposed to have sex.
You're supposed to
get drunk.
stay away from the internet, stay away from...
the old school, you go back...
Well, stay away from work is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You're supposed
correct.
to put away all of your obligations and relax and spend time with family and drink and have sex.
Yep.
That is not a part of Catholicism.
No.
That is very different. But regardless, intimacy is a key part of any romantic relationship, unless, as we discussed in a previous podcast, you are in the asexual community, which is totally fine. But in this episode, we're talking about those who are not. There is a book called The 5 Love Languages. And one of the love languages is physical touch. And that includes, obviously, like, sexual things. Did you happen to read the book, The 5 Love Languages?
Oh, God.
Dear?
I feel like I've heard...
Can my voice get any higher?
No. The answer is no. And the reason she's asking that is that I own the book. Do I own it? It's in my closet, right?
Yeah.
I own the book. That was something in my last relationship. I'm pretty sure I got it as a present. I got it as a present. You know when you get a present like that?
A not so subtle
that's
hint?
like not so, yeah. I got it as a present, and it was like, read the book. And I was like, all right, I'll read it someday. And I truly never made the effort to read the book and learn in depth about the love languages. I knew a little bit about it. Each person has a way that they like to receive love, and each person has a way that they like to give love, and it's important to understand that for your partner.
Yeah.
I never read the book, and she sort of always was like, "Oh, you never tried. You never read the book," and I was like, I already sort of gave up. Honestly.
I have to take her side on that.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
That's
Should have read the book.
I should have read the book.
I'm gonna make you read the book that your ex bought for you. Speaking of, wow, everything is relatable to previous podcasts.
Oh yeah, keeping things.
Speaking of, yeah, that's a good thing that you kept because I'm gonna make you read it. It's a good book. It really is.
I'm still not really sure if I'm gonna get rid of your ex's merch either.
It's going.
We'll see.
Gone. But the 5 love languages are gift giving.
Can I keep the tapestries?
No.
Okay.
Gift giving, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and words of affirmation.
See, I quote some of those, or I list some of those all the time when you do something nice for me. I'm like, see, acts of service.
I think that's
really
one of your big ones.
Appreciate it. That I really like that.
I think acts of service is one of the ways that you like to receive love.
Yeah, I get stoked, and you help me out all the time. You film videos for me. I don't even have to pay you.
I know.
I mean, I should.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know. I think my biggest ones are physical touch. Like, that's actually my top one.
I always thought that was mine.
Followed closely by quality time.
Okay. God, maybe quality time I don't care about.
Maybe, like, after that, words of affirmation. And then...
You're really cool.
Maybe acts of service. And I think the very bottom one will be gift giving. I like giving gifts.
I like giving you gifts.
I like giving you gifts.
I think of you. No, you flipped the first time I put toothpaste on your toothbrush, you were like, "Oh my God, no one has ever done this for me. Oh, I found the guy. I found him." And I had just put toothpaste on your toothbrush.
You set my toothbrush for me.
Yes.
That was cute.
It was cute. I didn't think much of it. I was like, I'm about to put toothpaste on my toothbrush. I should probably do that for you, or else you're going to be like, hey.
Yeah, but it's the little things. It's like a thoughtful little thing that you did for me.
Speaking of the little things, when she puts toothpaste on my toothbrush, it's like there is a toothbrush like famine going on. She is just like rationing toothpaste over the next 35 years based on the one tube.
There is plenty of toothpaste on your toothbrush.
No, it's like the tiniest little dollop. Tiny.
You want to swim in it.
I would like to have a latherous...
Latherous?
I don't know. Latherous, yeah.
That's weird to me.
Oh my God.
Know,
we totally just related this back to the topic because what kind of toothpaste do we use? Mint. And are we talking about intimacy?
Wow, you really had to like...
Full circle.
That was a stretch, but I'm going to take it and run with it. Kind of like improv, yes, and moving on. There's enough toothpaste on your toothbrush. There's plenty, and you're fine. Okay, so we have not addressed any questions yet. These, like I said, they're very
adult.
They're very
graphic.
adult. So I'm going to keep.
Do you want me to charades while you talk?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to keep their names anonymous. The first question, they asked to be referred to as just Slytherin, so we'll go with that.
I'm a Gryffindor. You're a Slytherin. No, you're like a Hufflepuff or something.
No, I'm Ravenclaw.
Yeah, that's what I meant by or something.
But Hufflepuff was like a super close second.
Oh yeah, because you're all nerdy.
What?
Which one's nerdy? Hufflepuffs are nerdy?
Ravenclaw.
Look, it's been a long time since I watched the movies or read the books.
Okay. Anyway.
Sorry.
Patreon question. Thank you for submitting your question, Slytherin.
Yes.
She said her boyfriend and her started dating in August. She's 19. He recently turned 20. They were both virgins when they got together.
17.
And their first few times, it was difficult because I guess there was maybe some pain. She felt like he was too big.
I can't relate.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I don't know. Never mind. Continue.
I mean, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is serious stuff.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for giving us your real question.
Yeah, seriously, it's amazing. And I guess to try to overcome this, they got some sex toys, and she thanked me for introducing some to her because I do unboxings occasionally. You're welcome. I'm glad that helped you out. But apparently, like, throughout, I'm trying to get through this without actually reading it.
She's paraphrasing, by the way.
I
if you
am.
Can't tell.
Yeah, I don't want to read the details of this because it actually goes into a lot of detail, and we're not PG, but I want to like stay in the realm. Somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, these probably are already demonetized, but this could demonetize it just a little more.
Okay. So I guess with the use of this, some unwanted outcomes happened. Like I think it was good overall, but I guess she was a little bit embarrassed.
What was she embarrassed about?
She was embarrassed with a thing that happened
Oh.
whenever she used the toy. I think that like a sound was made or something like that, and she was embarrassed and very self-conscious. She said, "This made me embarrassed and hate my body and gender. My boyfriend wasn't freaked out. He was understanding, knowing that I wasn't able to help it. He put me in a better mood, but I was in a bad mood about how disgusting it made me feel. I guess she ended up crying about it, and then later the same day, she wanted to try and have sex with her boyfriend, and he didn't want to because of what had happened earlier, which made her feel even worse."
Was this their first time?
I don't believe it was their first time.
But they were just like...
Mm-hmm. It was a new experience. I know he didn't mean for it to sound cruel. He just didn't want me to have the same experience again because I didn't like it. Yeah, so I guess she wasn't able to find any information online, and she's feeling really self-conscious about this whole situation.
So this is like the shame or the embarrassment of trying something new?
I mean...
What is this? I need more information.
I think that it's more of a shame because she's so young.
Yeah.
I feel like people this young haven't had many different experiences, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does mean that any little thing that happens, they become hyper aware of.
Mm.
Like, oh my God, did I moan too loud? Oh my God, like my body did this motion. Like, is that weird? Do I look strange in this position? Like, am I attractive naked? Are they judging my body? Like, am I overweight? Am I underweight? Are my boobs big enough? Like,
Yeah,
honestly, like these are
insecurities.
all things that I think a lot of people really struggle with. And the older you get,
The less you...
honestly, yeah, I kind of relate a little bit. Like, I remember I was super insecure about every little part of me. I'm like, oh my God, this is wrong and that's wrong and this is unattractive and what if this is weird? And like, I don't know, for the longest time, I avoided a lot of different sexual things because I was afraid of judgment or something weird that it's totally natural, but I just felt self-conscious. And I think that's a normal thing.
I've certainly like dated people who were like for example, boobs or whatever. It's so weird we have a relationship podcast when we talk about this kind of stuff.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, but like they were like not off limits, but like embarrassed.
Yeah. Same. For the longest time, I would not take my shirt off.
Yeah.
Because I was so embarrassed that I didn't have boobs. And like all these other girls had like cleavage, and this sounds so stupid, but you know, it was a real thing, a real insecurity of mine. It's a normal thing. And I think the older you get, I don't know, you just care less. I mean...
Or you're more comfortable in
Or
your
you're
own
more
skin.
comfortable, or you've had enough experiences with people that make you feel like it doesn't matter. Like, you almost need that reassurance, and I hate to, like, make anyone rely on reassurance, but once you get it, it does help. People are like, don't worry about that thing, you know?
Yeah.
I like that mole. You know, I like that birthmark.
I have a little mole right here.
Yeah. I like it.
Thanks. Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
I think there's a Twitter account called DMF's Third Nipple, and it's just a picture of my mole.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't make that account, clearly.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I swear. It's not. I don't run it.
Someone made an Instagram account for my teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Jaclyn Glenn's teeth.
Now all of our body parts might start, like, following each other. I think I've got DMF's ass is out there.
Oh, there's one Jaclyn Glenn's eyes.
Yeah,
There's
DMF's eyes is out there, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, our eyes have
Yeah.
Instagrams.
I know who runs that one.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Maybe they made mine,
I know
too.
who runs DMF's Pen 15.
Pen 15 Club? You want to join the Pen 15 Club?
So funny.
Well,
That
yeah.
was what we were talking about the other day when we were like talking about what do you write on a calculator? Oh wait, no,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
wait, can you? Yeah, you can do Pen 15.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, when you
'Cause-
turn a calculator upside down, it
Yeah, you
says
can
a
write
word.
boobies and Pen 15. Now we know.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and read the next question, just because they kind of relate and we can give advice to both at the same time. This one also, she wishes to remain anonymous. She says, you can call me Kitty.
Ooh, Kitty. Meow.
My boyfriend and I recently became vulnerably intimate with each other. You are showing your partner a side of your body that nobody sees. My boyfriend asked me to do a certain sexual favor, and it took me aback, even though we had talked about it for months. I, of course, agreed to do it, and things went fine, but in the shower, I had mistakenly blurted out, "That was weird," even though I really meant to say, "I enjoyed it." But the words weren't forming since I was still a little surprised that he trusted me with such an act. And when he heard me say that our sex act was weird, it immediately hurt his feelings, and he said he can't trust me to have sex with him again. How do I fix this? What can I do to repair the damaged trust he has sexually with me?
Whoa.
Yeah. So this is another one it's different than the first one because it's kind of opposite. It's she said something that maybe made him feel uncomfortable. And the other way, the other one was the other way around, where she had something said to her that made her feel uncomfortable.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should definitely go into both of these, but first, we should take a little commercial break.
Let's take a little break.
Let's take a little break. Jaclyn,
Yes, David. Why are you crying?
it's just that our podcast...
No, not the podcast.
You see, I didn't want to believe it at first, but I don't think we're getting enough ratings and reviews to go on.
No, but they're streaming on Tuesdays and watching on Thursdays, but not reviewing.
Yes, my love. I'm so scared right now.
Oh my God, it's getting worse. If only more people would go to Spotify and the podcast app and leave a review. Maybe they could save us all.
Before it's too late.
Subscribe and review.
Subscribe and review.
And we're back. Woo, what a fun commercial break that was.
So fun.
So awesome. I don't know what that was about, but sounds cool to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so shall we dive in?
Let's dive in. So, like I was saying before the break, these are related because they're both about being in a vulnerable place sexually and feeling judged by your partner. But I do feel in both of these cases, the partner wasn't meaning to judge. And they both did the thing. They both tried.
Participated in what was requested of them.
Yeah. So it's so difficult. It's so difficult to look into these types of things because every person has different experiences. Every person has different limits on what makes them comfortable.
Have you ever experienced being pushed outside your comfort zone with requests from a partner?
I have, and those situations have all not ended well. Really, really badly. But they were so different than these. It's, again, I think, and I'll explain, but I think with these two particular situations, they're very young. And the slightest deviation from what's traditional sex makes them oh my God, this is crazy. What we're doing is so weird and kinky, but it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either of the things that were, just so you guys know, if you're watching this, the two things that were brought up were not that weird. They were not that crazy. They're pretty standard things that people do. But I think whenever you're that age, it makes you really uncomfortable because you're not familiar with it. Mm-hmm. And it's uncharted territory, and it's a little bit, a little bit new and scary. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't crazy. But I have actually been asked to do things that I was not down with. I had one ex that this led into a breakup conversation. It was a big breakup conversation over many things, but this was one of the many things. He wanted me to sleep with someone else in front of him. Yeah. That was a no.
Does he ask very nicely, maybe with a letter?
No.
None, just...
No. And I was like, I'm not doing that at all. Ever. So that's an example of something that if someone requests that of you, God, yeah, if you're uncomfortable, say no and walk away.
Where do you draw the line between, for example, what happened earlier and...
Mm-hmm. I don't think there is a line that's universal for everyone. I think everyone has different things that they're comfortable with or not. Some people are more conservative and some people are more adventurous. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with either of those things. I'm sure there's a girl out there that's fine with doing the things that were requested of me. And I think that person, I hope he goes off and finds someone that is into that. That's just not me.
Yeah.
So it's fine to say no. Totally fine to say no. But things like this, like whenever we were talking earlier, I kind of equated it to you being like, hey, like, this is hypothetical. Like, what if you said, I like leather, or I like when you wear this outfit, or this thing, like, turns me on, like, and it's just us. Like, I'd be willing to do that if it was something you were super into.
Like more toothpaste on my toothbrush? Yeah, that's right.
Does that sexually arouse you?
I don't know, but at least my mouth will be clean. Gosh. All right.
Back to the toothpaste.
Sorry. I saw a moment there.
I don't know. But these things, like with these people that happen, like I just wish that they could have more comfort.
Yeah.
It's really not, it's not scary, and like it wasn't anything to freak out about. Like it's something you could equate to, we talked about earlier, like accidentally farting in front of your partner.
A girl queefed on me once. Well,
you have to explain that.
We weren't actually like doing like. That's just sort of a weird line to say.
You can't say that and walk away. You have to give every detail of how in the hell that happened.
The thing about having like a relationship or a podcast in general, you don't know what to say. So first off, to any queefs out there, I don't want to offend you. All queefs.
To all the queefs.
To all the queefs. Like, there's no like queef equality and like, you know.
Hashtag queef equality.
Hashtag queef equality. So, you know, I understand that queefs are a real thing and they're not embarrassing, and that's the thing. However, when I was 16, this was not in any form of intimacy. I was actually just lying on a couch, and my friend was a gymnast, and she was lying. She was lying with her legs up in the air, and I was on the couch lying down, and her legs are up in the air above me. And she was like, just like standing on her like back and neck or whatever, you know, curled over with her legs in the air. Anyway, she sort of slouched back down, and it sounded like she farted. And I was like, haha, okay, whatever. And she got so embarrassed. And she left the room, and we all sort of laughed because she farted. But it was like an airier fart. Anyways, it's weird. I still remember it. It's like,
oh, yeah, I would remember that too if someone queefed in my face.
Yeah.
Sounds like Terrence and Phillip, by the way.
Yeah.
You queefed in your face.
So she came in, and she was just embarrassed, and she told me she queefed in my face, and I had to tell her, like, it's fine. Like really, like, don't worry about it. Oh, God, I feel bad now. I think I did say I won't tell anyone. Well, anyways, it's fine. It's been a long time.
The thing is, I don't understand about that story is, like, if I were her, I would have just let it end at you being like, haha, you farted. Like, yup, totally farted.
No, well,
my bad.
Good for her for being honest.
But, like, why would you? I don't know. I wouldn't have done that.
Anyways, we were like 16 years old. That was the introduction. And that was what came into my mind when you talked about farting. Which, by the way, you don't really fart really around me. Are we allowed to talk about this? I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to put you on the fart spot right now. Woo, woo.
Fart spot?
I've only caught it secretly if you walk away and then come back. But,
no! You caught on to that?
You're sneaky. But
I get up and I leave the room and I, like, put something away in the kitchen and then I walk back and sit down. It's fine.
I don't think we've had this happen yet, but I think I've had this happen to me in every single relationship.
Uh-oh.
I specifically dated one hippie. She had a temper. And I remember one night.
Oh, my God.
She was next to the bed, yelling, just punching me.
What?
Yeah, just yelling and punching and, like, hitting. Just, that was disgusting. And
you farted on her?
No, I just farted in bed.
You farted in bed all the time?
And it was, like, yeah, but it was, like, so bad that, like we almost, like, broke up. She, like, almost, like...
Over a fart? Why'd you guys break up? I farted.
Yeah, no, like, it was like full road rage, but just, yeah.
Wait, it's so confusing because you would imagine a hippie to be like super zen and chill.
Yeah, you think so, right? Yeah, no.
No. Okay, so you almost broke up over a fart. So, like, that's crazy. Like, that's what I'm talking about, though. Like,
you'd think that, like, I wonder if, you know, you'd be like, hey, you remember that? But, like, I bet there's no way that fart's not burned into her brain forever.
Was it? What did you eat that day?
I mean, I don't remember. There was a burrito place we used to like to go to all the time. I don't remember.
Blame it on the burrito.
I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, I've always been a little gassy, and I'm not I am not going to change who I am for you, and I will not. I will not hold them in.
You don't. You have never.
Because if I do, we have bigger problems. Do you care about my health?
I think you'll survive.
No, I might not. You know?
How do we fall down this rabbit hole of farts?
We were talking about
Queefs and just bodily functions
yeah,
that are unplanned.
Sort of,
unplanned bodily functions.
Yeah. It's totally normal, like, podcast conversation.
I remember the first time I heard you fart.
We're going to talk about first farts.
Your first fart.
Oh, my God. That's so cute.
You were
Please tell me everything.
You were at my apartment, and it was like the third night you stayed over at my place.
Oh, geez. I just hopped right in
You
there.
didn't know you were asleep.
Oh, wow.
And I woke up in the middle of the yes, I was filming you. I woke up in the middle of the night, just I don't know, I was tossing and turning, and like it was still kind of a shock to have someone in bed next to me. And I was just kind of awake and I couldn't fall back asleep, and I was just kind of thinking about it, like how weird it was because I've known you forever, and I was like processing the whole situation, and you just like ripped a fart.
You know, I'm pretty sure.
And you were asleep, and I could not stop laughing. Like I had, those like laughing fits that I have where I like start to cry.
You had this while I was sleeping?
You were sleeping, and I had like tears. I was laughing so hard. It was bad too. It did not smell good. But I thought it was cute. It was in that like
biologically, aren't we supposed to like fart in our sleep?
The honeymoon phase. Honestly, I think I'm still in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, we're totally in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, but you farted. I'm like, oh, how cute. And then like the smell happened. I'm like, oh God, that's horribly disgusting. But
keep the sheets closed.
How cute. And I just could not stop laughing because you had no idea.
Yeah.
Because you were at that time, you were trying so hard to like do everything perfect and impress me. And
come on, I still do everything perfect and impress you.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you were nervous around me at that point. Like we weren't.
Oh yeah, totally.
We weren't comfortable in front of each other.
We were like really like. Yeah, we were definitely like figuring out that dance was sort of interesting.
We weren't comfortable yet, and like I certainly wasn't like completely comfortable yet either, and everything was like I was analyzing every move I made, like, oh my God, did I say something wrong?
I walk in the door and what do I do? Do I shake your hand? Do I hug you? Do I kiss you?
God, that was so awkward. Did
I shake your hand?
No,
okay,
you
good.
Like tried to kiss me, but I like went in for a hug, and I didn't.
And I like need you.
I didn't want to be like too like presumptuous and just assume I'm gonna get a kiss.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then I felt bad because I like kind of dodged a kiss, but then like I went back to like try to kiss you back again like later, and I'm like,
and then like I didn't have a toothbrush at your place or vice versa, and so we like didn't really.
Oh, do you remember that when we started leaving toothbrushes?
Yeah.
That was like a big thing. I'm like, oh my God. I remember I called my friend. I'm like, I left a toothbrush. She's like, oh, that's serious. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Do people just leave? Is that what people do?
Leave your toothbrush?
No, like after they hook up or whatever, do they just leave? Do they stay? Is that I don't know these things.
Why would I know these things? Why are you assuming I know these things?
I just assume you're more experienced than I am.
Lies.
How dare you?
You stayed.
Yeah, I was probably asleep.
But I'm saying like the first night after we watched that ridiculous movie that we watched 15 minutes of, you stayed the night. You stayed the night.
Nice. Of course I did. We should totally watch that again. I'm serious.
No, thank you. It was
That's
really
our movie.
Stupid. No, it was a really stupid movie. But anyway, we're really, really off the course right now of the topic.
No. We're still on intimacy.
Intimacy.
And we're figuring that was the dance of figuring each other out and learning to be comfortable with each other.
Yeah. So you asked me the question. I'm going to like throw it back at you.
What was my question?
Have you ever been put in a situation where a partner has asked you for something that made you uncomfortable?
Honestly, it's sort of a weird one, actually.
His face turns red.
See, mine's actually not sexual.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mine was like going to church.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Don't out me. Everyone's going to know this is about me. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Wait, going to church?
Yeah.
What?
And it was like a thing. And then I got in trouble for being disrespectful because I made a joke. But how was I not going to make jokes? I'm Jewish.
Wait, who asked you to go to church?
I'm not telling you. Well, not the hippie. Not the hippie.
Last one?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, and that was a thing that was requested of you that made you uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I said I would do it. I should, of course, I was always down to participate. Anyways, you asked me if I have nothing sexual that I have ever been asked of that I wasn't just down to. And I'm just kidding.
Hey.
No.
I think. I mean, we don't have to say what, but I feel like I've pushed your boundaries a little.
Sure.
But nothing like that was like making you uncomfortable, but just like, whoa, really? Things? You
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, no, it's I'm cool exploring the world with you.
The world.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about the world. No, but that's good. So what's our final piece of advice to these questions? I mean, I feel like we've tried to relate to them. We've given a little bit of advice here and there, but overall, like, what do you do whenever you are in that super vulnerable position with someone and something happens where you either say something that makes them uncomfortable or vice versa?
I don't know. I think even just from the earliest things, like trying to do the dance of do you hug each other, do you kiss each other, what's going on with the relationship, all the way to the most intimate of requests or of trying to figure each other out. It's communication. It's respect. It's talking. It's not assuming. It's especially when you get towards sexual stuff. There's all kinds of consensual things.
Right. You have to keep in
there.
mind, like, if you're in a relationship and there's something that you're really into, you should be able to talk to your partner about it, but also they should be able to say no.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something that's that important to you and they're not willing to do it, then there are a lot of people in the world. There are, I'm sure, people out there that are exactly the same as you. And I don't think anything is, too crazy to not happen twice in the world.
Exactly.
So, maybe, I don't want to say like break up, but like there are a lot of people out there and maybe you'll find somebody one day that's into the same things, or maybe you're willing to compromise.
Yeah.
And you don't need those things.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, if someone has a thing that they really like and it doesn't compromise your values or it doesn't like push your limits of what's comfortable too far, then I don't know, put on that leather outfit. Have fun.
Pleather.
Oh, yes.
I'm more of a pleather kind of guy myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything weird like that.
I mean, you don't outright, but
the tapestries?
No. Anytime I put anything on for you, you've like been super excited about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I guess clothes are cool. I'm such a guy because I just say cool. That's like
your
my
face
adjective.
Is all red right now. It's cute.
Oh.
No, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that it's fun to like have these conversations. And I feel bad that so many people are terrified by them.
That's true.
You're so lucky that you got to grow up in a way that didn't shame you constantly for these things, but a lot of people have. How do you as someone who hasn't had to experience that, offer advice to someone who has like
I mean, there probably were elements of shame, but and I definitely grew up in a more conservative household than my sisters did. That just means my parents just became far more...
Well, you were the first child.
I was under full...
Yeah.
I was not allowed to... Like, when my friend smoked weed, I was grounded. Like, my younger sister, like, grew up washing her bong in the dishwasher with me. Like, because it's totally different thing. I don't know. Wait, what was your question again?
Just like, how do you give advice to people that have grown up with this shame?
Oh, I think you have to really, really just try to find your own place in that and your own story and try to not base it on the household that you grew up on and the people around it. It's a big world out there. It's internet. There's so many places. You could ask questions to us over on our Patreon and we'll help you. But like, honestly, it's really, really individualized as far as your own story, your own, what you're comfortable with and who you are. And I think becoming comfortable in that is the most important thing. So probably nothing you're doing is not worth being comfortable about. So That's true. What advice would you give to the girl who accidentally said, "Well, that was weird," to her boyfriend? And I know she screwed up. It was an accident. It was a slip of the mouth. I do that shit all the time. You do. That's I probably say bad stuff to you all the time. Well, not bad things, but sometimes you make jokes whenever I'm telling you a relatively serious thing, and then I get
I get bummed out.
Yeah.
But I realize your intentions are not like to be hurtful.
Mm-mm.
So hopefully, in this case, her boyfriend can realize that. And I think just communication.
Yep.
Tell him that you love him and you're willing to work on, how you express yourself, and that you didn't think it was weird, that, because you said in the question, she said she didn't think it was weird. She wanted to say that was fun, but it came out like that was weird. So I think maybe just clarifying and making him feel more comfortable and confident around you so that you can continue being vulnerable, because that's what relationships are.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is that like we're giving advice and we sort of do lean a little bit on like a little bit of like age or whatever, experience.
Yeah.
We're young. All in all, we got a long life to live and like more stuff to figure out.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be trying to figure this stuff out for the very first time when we're like 85. And we're like, and we're gonna have this like podcast and people are gonna be like, hey, Dave and Jaclyn, like, how do we have sex still? And we're gonna be like, we got you. Like, here's how you do. Like,
we're gonna be doing it when we're 85.
I probably, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's like.
We can traumatize the grandchildren. Could you imagine walking in on Grandma and Grandpa?
Oh man, but what if like a bunch of people listening to this just got really traumatized and PTSD because you said that?
I doubt that many people have walked in on their grandparents.
I have never walked in on my grandparents. I'm envisioning it.
Oh God,
yeah,
no. Okay,
no,
moving on.
Gross.
Moving on. So that's the advice to her. I just think communication and reassurance.
Yep.
Lots of reassurance. And then what about your advice to the girl who was made to feel kind of uncomfortable by her boyfriend's comment?
So he sort of shaming her?
No, he didn't shame her, but he said that he didn't want to have sex again that day. And she attributes it to her previous experience.
She shouldn't blame herself.
Mm-hmm.
She shouldn't blame herself, and they're still figuring themselves out, and they're both going to need a little bit of like slack as far as like if they want to do stuff again or whatever. Like, she shouldn't pressure him and he shouldn't pressure her, and like everybody's going to have to do their best to try to control their expectations of the other person and communicate them as well as possible, and not get mad about the other person not giving them what they want at that moment, and the insecurity based around it.
Yeah. But I mean, you have to communicate that that's how he made you feel.
Yes.
You have to tell him that's how he made you feel. Because, like, there's nothing wrong or weird about it. Like, you're not... I hate that she said she's ashamed of her body. She's ashamed of her gender. She's completely embarrassed. And it's all completely normal things.
Yeah.
There's nothing weird about any of that situation at all. So hopefully you can come to terms with that on your own and explain to him how it made you feel uncomfortable, and maybe he can give you that reassurance. And if he can't, or if he ever makes you feel bad about it, move on and find somebody who is, because you don't need that shit in your life.
Yeah, and that over years or that over a long period of time can be so horrible for someone.
Yeah.
And then you bring all that baggage into the next relationship and so on. So, like, yeah.
Sorry about that, by the way. That's another podcast episode altogether.
Baggage.
But yeah, hopefully this was moderately helpful.
I think it was helpful. I think it was intimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. So intimate, huh? What's your favorite mint? Okay, same time. Ready, set, cinnamon. Well, you didn't even say it at the same time.
Thin mints.
No. Type of mint. Ready, and
wintergreen.
Yeah, wintergreen's good.
Yeah.
Wintergreen's real good. Spearmint? Nah. Peppermint?
Wintergreen.
It's better than
Wintergreen,
spearmint.
yeah.
Wintergreen's really good. Yeah. Intimate.
Well, intimate. This was an intimate podcast. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining to everyone listening.
It was fun hanging out in the garage recording studio with you.
Yeah, we are. It's hot in here.
So I don't know what to do about that problem. I have been trying.
I'm sweating so bad right now.
We live in Los Angeles, and she now lives in the Valley of Los Angeles. Well, I guess she already lived in the Valley. Anyways, this week she's moving into my house. I'm really excited. You can't tell. But yeah, by the time you listen to the next podcast, she won't be living. That doesn't really make sense.
By the time this comes out,
I
will be moved in.
She will already be living with me.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Crazy. Yeah.
We should make an episode about when is it time to move in.
That's a great episode idea. By the way, if you guys have any questions, please, we've actually run through almost all the questions we've had so far. So if you are already a patron and you want to ask another question, please feel free. If you have not already, you can go to patreon.com/Jaclyn and David. Anybody at any level can submit a written question and we will respond to you on the podcast.
Yeah, it's super helpful, these podcasts and the vlogs. It's all a part of something really exciting that we're working on. We also are going on tour. We can't announce it yet because we're going to announce it as soon as we can. But we are going on tour. We are still looking for hosts for some of the cities. So if you are interested in hosting, we're basically doing shows, and you can offer a space if you have a venue, if you have a living room, if you have a community center, if you have any access to anything decent. You can offer your space up, and you can tell us, hey, you can have 40 people in your place, and then we will put tickets on sale, and we will only give those 40 people the address, and they will for that 3-hour performance.
Very
and
cool.
We'll come and hang out with everyone. So
yeah, and we'll tweet out this link, and it'll be readily available and stuff. So
yeah, so you can apply for your space or your grandma's retirement home, or whatever, to be where we come and hang out.
then you can walk in on them doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think we should wrap this.
Wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. By the way, if you become a patron by the end of the month, you will have your name in our very first podcast postcard. That is exciting.
Every single name.
Every single name. If you support on the Patreon, your name will be printed on it. Right now, I think we have 50 names that are going to be on it. So that's very exciting.
Super stoked.
Yep.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody again, like we did at the beginning of the podcast. Thank you to people leaving ratings and reviews. It does help us, grow the podcast. So we appreciate the support. Hopefully this was a fun episode. And
shall we go make some dinner?
let's make some dinner.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.